So people, welcome to Rock and Roll Tales from Lady in Black. I'm host, Lana. Today, we're going to talk about Halestorm's fifth studio album, Back from the Dead. It was released on May 6, 2022 through Atlantic Records. Halestorm were a band I've been wanting to get into for a few years now because of my need to find more female-fronted rock and roll bands. However, I was a little hesitant because their style is more modern and corporate genres that I don't listen to often, like alternative metal and post-grunge. I'm more of an old-school hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock kind of girl. However, earlier this year, I bought the CD version of Back from the Dead from my local Barnes & Noble store on a whim because Lzzy Hale is such a phenomenal singer that it feels like a crime to not own at least one Halestorm album. By the way, the name Halestorm, absolutely genius. Coincidentally, the theme of the album perfectly aligns with where I'm at currently in my life. Being Halestorm's first studio album since the COVID-19 pandemic and the follow-up to 2018's Vicious, the songs on Back from the Dead are centered on self-discovery and redemption. The lineup that plays on the album includes Lzzy Hale on guitars, piano, synthesizers, and lead vocals, RJ Hill on drums and backing vocals, Joe Hottinger on lead guitar, backing vocals, and synthesizers, and Josh Smith on bass guitar, backing vocals, and synthesizers. The title track, Back from the Dead, is the freaking banger that opens up the album. There's nothing more relaxing than hearing Lzzy Hale scream, "I'm back from the dead," into listeners' ears. Let's be real, that's pretty much what everyone was thinking when the COVID lockdowns ended. It's got a freaking amazing hook, a monstrous groove, and the instrumentation is heavy as shit. Being the opening track and first single from the album, it's such a bold statement from the band saying, "How can it hold us down, baby?" Wicked Ways is a song that embraces walking on the dark side with a nasty bass line. Lzzy Hale admits that she's far from an angel, but by no means is she making any deals with the devil. I love the drumming in the song. By the way, RJ Hale, what a freaking beast of a drummer he is. The drumming is hardcore and chaotic, and at times it gives me punk rock energy, which I really dig. Lzzy Hale is screaming up a storm, and what I admire most about her is that she's not afraid to get mean and aggressive. She's not one of those girls who needs a prince to rescue her. No, she'll do the rescuing herself, thank you very much. Strange Girl was inspired by a girl who just came out to her parents shortly before the COVID-19 pandemic, but they weren't very supportive of her, so she turned to the Halestorm community for support. Strange Girl is for everyone that's ever been called strange, weird, and all that negative crap because let's be real. If we were all the same, this world would be a very boring place. It's got a stomping groove and the instrumentation is chef's kiss. Brightside is one of my favorite songs in the album. Actually, it's my favorite song in the album because I really relate to the song's message. I wouldn't consider myself a pessimist, but I do have a habit of focusing on the negatives. When the glass is half full, I usually see it as half empty. Brightside is a big slap in the face telling me to focus on the positives, or else life is really gonna suck for me if I don't get my head out of my you know what. The melodies are gorgeous, it's poppy in spots, it's got an infectious hook, and I love the lyrics. I started this YouTube channel as a platform to promote the music I love. More specifically, rock and roll music. I'm not just talking about the greatest hits of AC/DC and Bon Jovi. I'm talking about Def Leppard deep cuts, Richie Sambora solo albums, and newer rock bands like Rival Sons and Black Stone Cherry. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. Unlike previous tracks, Terrible Things is an acoustic number with beautiful string instrumentation, with cellos, violins, you name it. I see terrible things. Lzzy Hale's vocals are restrained and scaled back, but just as powerful. Lyrically, the song admits the flaws of human beings and how we make mistakes, but we can look past them and overcome these terrible things. My Redemption has a stomping groove and a nasty guitar riff. Going back to what I said about Lzzy Hale not needing a man to rescue her, Redemption encourages listeners to be in charge of their own redemption, instead of relying on others to fix us. It's such a powerful song that represents independence and self-love. And the instrumentation freaking slaps. It's very modern and alternative, if that makes sense. Bombshell is a freaking banger that's basically a middle finger to record executives who made women feel insignificant and small. The guys that go, all you had to do was sing and look pretty. Well, I got news for all you fools. That ain't happening. It's such a vibe that makes you want to go, oh yeah, I like this. It's got a stomping groove, the guitar outro is fire, and the chorus is insanely catchy. If you don't have the deluxe edition, Raise Your Horns is the last song on the album.
So raise your horns, raise them high.
It's a beautiful piano ballad, and Lizzie Hale delivers an unbelievable vocal performance. In fact, it's her best vocal performance on the album. Her vocals sound so pure that it's like being in the same room as her when she recorded the song. The song's message is very comforting because it encourages listeners to embrace who they are and not be afraid to show it. I look at it as a call for unity in the hard rock and heavy metal community. Legendary is one of the bonus tracks on the album. It's got a killer groove, a piercing guitar riff, great hook, and great instrumentation, and the song just drips in confidence and attitude. And overall, it's a lot of fun. Lyrically, the song reminds me of Bombshell because it's about not surrendering to other people's expectations. I can see why the extra tracks on the deluxe edition didn't make the original album. They're not terrible, but they're not on par with the tracks that made the final cut. However, I want to give a shout out to You Only Die Once because it has a dark and disturbing vibe that I really like. You really have to be in an angry mood to listen to that one. Also, I don't know why they changed the album cover for the deluxe edition, because the album cover for the standard edition with the popping red and Lizzie Hale screaming her head off is actually way better. The gray and black artwork for the deluxe edition looks bland, uninspiring, and not as striking. Well, not necessarily bland, it just doesn't look as cool as the red artwork for the standard edition. Overall, this album is very different from what I'm used to. As mentioned earlier, I'm more of an old school hard rock and classic rock kind of girl, but Halestorm have more in common with alternative rock bands like Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens than with classic rock bands like Deep Purple and the Rolling Stones. I used to listen to alternative rock bands like Sleeping with Sirens, All Time Low, Pierce the Veil, and Black Veil Brides. So in a way, Back When I Died reconnected me with my high school self. The music is heavy, but in a teenage angsty type of way, but still a lot of fun. Comment below your thoughts on Halestorm's Back When I Died, and let me know your favorite songs from the record. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. With all that said, take care, see you real soon, peace! Rock and roll rules, dude!